To assign a lesson to a student, sign on to your tutor dashboard, and if you're not already a tutor, click on Tutors here in the footer. From your tutor dashboard under Lessons, you'll see your lessons, and we'll create a lesson in a second, or other lessons used, which come from public courses from the community which you can assign to students. And how do you find those? Click on one of the courses, such as math. I'm going to pick calculus in this case. And any of the lessons, if you've already gone through the lesson and you know which one you like, such as Introduction to Limits, go ahead and like it. That will place it in your tutor dashboard under Other Lessons. Let's go back to the tutor dashboard, and here we have it now, ready to be assigned to a student. And let's just assign this to John Doe, and let's say the instructions are to please complete this by Friday. And then that lesson is sent. But now let's do an example of creating a personalized lesson for a student or a group of students. They will appear here under your lessons. So let's create one by clicking on Create Lesson from the Lessons tab. And this is AI based. And so this is going to be a prompt on what type of lesson you want. And let's create a lesson on how to graph curves, designed for an 8th grader with step-by-step instructions, and include a graph that plots this function, but also include a table. Now, how many questions does the user need to get correct before he or she completes the assignment? And we'll say 5, and then it'll report it back to you once it's done. Now, this is optional, but you can tell the AI your teaching style, such as if the student asks for help graphing a function, build a table first. This is used by the AI tutor when the user has any questions. Let's go ahead and hit Create. Now, this may take a few minutes, so be patient. And now it has finished. Notice you may edit both the lesson that has been created as well as the tests. The lesson looks like this. And in a separate video, we're going to go over how to edit and the very powerful wiki toolbar with all of its options. But the AI has created this according to our instructions. It did step-by-step analysis. It created that table that we asked for, and it plotted the results as well. And again, I can edit it from here, but the important thing is to, if you make any changes, to hit Control S to save, or scroll to the very bottom for the Save button here. Next is the test that was created. Again, for editing tests, we will do a different video, but it has created twice as many test questions as we need for the user to answer correctly. That student, when he receives the assignment, will look something like this. Click on Assignments, view that lesson that we just created, and then take a test. Now the user will have to get the test questions correct. In this case, I got it wrong. And the user can ask questions of the AI at any time by talking to the tutor or switching to a text mode. And we'll ask a question, how would I graph an equation like this one? And if you remember, the instructions that we gave the AI to teach like how we teach is to start by doing a table first and then plot each point. So the AI has the ability to learn the tutor's teaching style. Next, back to our tutor dashboard. Under the Assignments tab, you'll see the assignments to students as incomplete or complete. And we've noticed that John Doe has not finished that graphing curves lesson because he hasn't finished the required number of test questions. Once he does, it will be marked as complete. But let's go back to lessons and let's do another example of a lesson. And in this case now we will do a college level lesson. So we're going to say design a college level lesson on finance and trading stocks. And let's do some history about recent crash events, but also let's do the bar chart of the Dow Jones between those years. Once again, be patient as the AI creates both the lesson and the tests. Here we go. The AI has finished. Again, we can review or edit the lesson. And here it has created, as we have asked, the history of stock market, major crashes, the 1987 one, the dot-com bubble, the financial crisis as well. And we did ask it to create a graph between 1990 and 2020. And here it is. It has created that as well. Now again, in another lesson, we'll go over the Wiki toolbar and how to make edits. Now for this next one, we will create a lesson in a different language. First, note that you have the ability to change the language that you see here on your dashboard by changing it here. We'll leave this in English just to show that even with an English view, our view, we can still create lessons in other languages. And that is simply just based on the prompt that you use. If I do a prompt in Spanish, it'll generate a lesson in Spanish. If I do a prompt in Chinese, it'll generate the lesson in Chinese. And so here we're just saying, look, let's do a lesson about building a bike and include a flow diagram about how to build it. Again, we'll leave this blank since you've seen that before and hit create. The AI has finished our lesson and test, so let's take a look. Constructing a bike. Again, it's done that in Spanish, and we asked for a flowchart, and it has created one in Spanish for how to construct and assemble a bike. That wraps up our tutorial on creating new lessons. To learn how to edit lessons, please see the link in the YouTube description below.